In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a water pump on your Chevy Silverado. This will be located on the front of the motor. Let's get started. Remove the four 10mm bolts on the bottom of the skid plate. We only have two. Remove the two 15mm bolts at the top. Remove the shield. Under the car on the passenger side, we're going to look up above the right side of the frame rail. Right next to these AC lines, there's going to be a drain cock on the side of the radiator. We're going to reach up and twist that valve. If you need to, you can use a pair of pliers to grab onto it to get it started. Then open it up until the coolant starts to drain out. Once our coolant's done draining, we're going to close that petcock. We're going to remove the intake. There should be band clamps on either side. We're going to use a flat blade screwdriver. Loosen the clamp. Remove the PCV hoses off of the intake. Remove the MAP sensor. Pull back on the red tab. Push on the black. Pull straight back. Your intake might not look like this one, but it should have all of the same parts. Once everything is loose and removed, go ahead and remove the intake. Using a 1/2-inch chuck, we're going to get inside of the tensioner, pull the tension off, remove the belt from the pulleys, remove the belt. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the bolts for the water pump. Reach through the pulley to get after the bolts. Be sure you have a collection bucket under you before removing all of the bolts. Using a pry bar, we're going to pry on the top of the water pump very gently. Remove the water pump slowly to try to not make a mess with the coolant. Remove the water pump. We're going to use a light abrasive to clean the surface for the water pump gasket. Get all of the old gasket material or corrosion out. We don't want to take any material off or score the metal. Wipe the surface down using a clean rag. Install the gasket over the stud. This can only go on one way. I have one bolt started in our water pump. Install the water pump and get that first bolt started. Be sure that the water pump is fully seated. Go around installing all of the bolts for the water pump. Torque the water pump bolts to 89 inch-pounds. Install the belt. Pull the tension off of the tensioner and install the belt around the alternator pulley. Let go of the tension on the tensioner and remove your 1/2 inch. Make sure the belt is riding on all of the pulleys, on all of the grooves, and then on all of the flats. Install the intake. Snug down the clamps. Install the PCV hose. Install the MAF sensor connector. Push until you hear a click. If you don't, give it a pull. Make sure it's locked on. Close that red tab. Snug down the clamp on the other side. Install the skid plate. Get the bolt started. Snug the bolts down. Install the top bolts for the skid plate. Snug the bolts down. Fill the coolant reservoir with coolant. Fill it to the max line. You can find this on the front of the reservoir. Install the cap. Start and run the vehicle. Let it heat up until you have heat coming out of all of the vents with no cold pockets, or until the front fans turn on, and then you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.